Tinder really started exploding, 4 years ago, I think. It was kind of 2 years ago. There was coming around.
And perhaps lost its taboo, maybe, in that time.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the other apps came out to make it more accessible to swipe left and swipe right.
Yeah.
And Instagram became a dating app essentially in itself, and Snapchat, and all these social media apps are just now dating and looking at, there's thousands of options. It seems like there's so many good options, yet not one great option for anyone.
Well, when you say, they've all become dating apps, it makes me feel we've come full circle, because wasn't that the original point of Facebook? Was to go on and see who on college campus is single, who's, that to me is...
Who's the cute freshman coming in?
Yeah, we kind of started there, and we're it's now just many different ways to do it. Obviously, social media is used for many different things, but I think anything that makes easier the ability to meet people. Cal Newport in his book The Happiness Advantage talks about the activation energy required for a task, and the higher the activation energy, the less likely it is you'll do something you want to get yourself to do. So he uses the example of, like, if you want to play guitar, keep it by the couch so that when you sit down to watch the TV, the guitar's there. And if it's up in the closet upstairs, you have to go in. Now the activation energy is higher, you're less likely to practice playing the guitar. And I feel like the activation energy of meeting people, when people had to go out to a bar, dress up, look the part, see someone across the bar, think about what they're going to say, take the risk to get rejected in front of someone's friends or in front of their own friends. The activation energy was really high. And people, I think, whether they admit it or not, love the idea of the activation energy being really low. That I can slide into someone's DMs on Instagram and hit someone up with very minimal effort. I could be in my pajamas watching, some TV show doing that. And I've also minimized the potential rejection from that. The rejection isn't happening.
It doesn't hurt.
It's not happening in real time at the very least. You might have the rejection of, I never got a response.
But it doesn't hurt. You're not looking someone in the eyes.
No.
Your heart's not beating out of your chest.
It's not real-time rejection of, I approached you and you're now being cold to me, or you don't want to speak to me, or you tell me you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That's like real time in the moment.
Do you really have a boyfriend?
Right.
How many times you go up to a girl when they say, I've got a boyfriend, thank you. You're like, you're lying to me.
I just didn't do well enough.
I know.
So that is, we've lowered the activation energy for meeting each other. And that, I think, has saved a lot of people. But it's also done something else.
It's hurt a lot of us.
It's interrupted a little bit, maybe a lot, the story of attraction. I thought about this recently, how if, let's say before any of this, there was a man who meets a woman when they're out in some social environment, they exchange numbers, he goes home and he has to call her, right? Now, that takes guts. I have to pick up the phone, I have to have a conversation, and, already I'm kind of investing, if you know what I mean. Before I've even made the phone call, I'm investing, because I'm thinking, what am I going to say? And how do I come across right? And how do I still my nerves? That's a form of investment, and we tend to value what we invest in. So I'm now already beginning to value this person more, because I'm having to try at something.
Because I met her, I got her number, exchanged information, and I'm thinking about the next step.
And even just, by the way, the meeting someone out and exchanging numbers, there's a story already happening there.
Yeah.
It worked. I went over to someone and it worked.
And there's a potential for something.
Oh my God, yeah. She could have said no, and she didn't. And I knew, and I thought I was attracted to her, and I went over there, and I did the thing.
She confirmed it.
And it worked, and now I have a number, and this is a story that's happening. And you go home, you think about it, make the call.
You tell your friends about it.
Tell your friends. That's a form of investment. I met this girl. You got to hear about this girl. You got to see this girl. Just adding to the story.
Yeah.
Now, you go on a date. On that date, you have a great time. Where am I going to take this person? What am I going to do? After the date, you go home and you might have to wait 3 days or 4 days till the next date with this person. And in those 3 or 4 days, you may not consider it work, but you are working for that person. There's a chasing that's going on in your mind. There's an investment that's going on in your mind, an imagination, the narrative that's happening. And that is all part of that kind of natural courtship that pulls us into the next stage of the interaction, whether it's date 2, date 3, date 4, exclusivity, moving in together, whatever it is. Now compare that with someone, hits someone up, swipes, we got a match, okay, there's like no activation energy to that really. Yeah. We got a match, who are they? Okay, read their tagline, loves, dancing in the rain, whatever they, okay, yeah, well, yeah, so...